Okay, I've decided on the binding that I'm going to do. I'm going to do a hidden binding, and I'm just going to use chipboard. And then I have this piece of wallpaper that I was fortunate enough to find a book of samples at a Goodwill store. So I'm going to use this to fill in the top. Of course, the chipboard will be underneath. And so I'll sew my signatures in onto this and then glue this down to the inside. And then I'll be able to put I'll comfortably put my puzzles on either side of my signatures. One on either side. Like so. And so that's what I'm going to do. It's just a matter of, you know, this is the area that I have to work with. That's what goes in between my two pieces here. And I have 7 signatures, so I'll put the 4th one right here in the very middle. I'll measure this, poke my hose, and put this right in the middle. Then I'll put 3 on either side. Because of how long my signatures are, they're 12 inches in length, and so I'm probably going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably go with 7 holes. And I forgot the name of the stitch. I'll have to look it up, and I'll show you the stitches when I get to it. But it's like a running stitch. You go up and then you come back down and then you go back up and meet in the middle. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'll bring you in when I go to do one of the signatures when I sew that in. I will be using my linen wax thread. Sorry, my desk is a mess. And it's white, so I'll be using the white thread to sew my signatures in. And I'll bring you back when I go to do that. Okay guys, so I've cut down my piece of chipboard and measured out my piece of wallpaper here. And all I've done is attached my chipboard to the wallpaper, to the back of the wallpaper. And I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to measure out and poke my holes, and then start sewing in my signatures after I poke holes in those. So next I'll make the template, and then I'll start poking the holes. Okay. I'm ready to fix my template to be able to sew in my signatures, and what I've done is created a template that is the exact same size as when I'm going to have my hidden spine. Okay, that's all that is. And I put on here top and I put on here bottom, just so I can distinguish when I go to punch the holes in my signatures the orientation that this goes. So you're more apt to have your signatures level as opposed to up, down, up, down, up, down. So what I'm going to do is fold this in half. You could do the measurements if you like. I just hate math today. That's just all it is to it. So what I'm going to do is take this and fold it over. Okay. And this is going to give me the center of my spine. Okay. Sorry. Bone folders over to the side. Okay, so that's the top and the bottom, and then I have dead center of my spine. Okay, so what I know is I have 7 signatures. So the fourth signature is going to fit right here. So now I need to find where there's 3 signatures on this side of the middle one and 3 signatures on this side of the middle one. So again, what I'm going to do is now fold this one in half. So bring this side up. That's 2 inches. So I'm just going to score it. Let me score it at 1 inch. That way it'll make it easier for me to fold that to the center. Okay, I'm going to do the same to the other side. What I've done is butted up the my center fold where the very middle of my spine is. Whoops, I didn't have that straight. Let me try that again. Alright, I'm going to fold that one in. Okay, so what I know now, this is my 4th, 2nd, and 6th. So if I take this, that's 1 inch. So it's a 1/2 inch. If I score that at a 1/2 inch, that's going to be where I start my first signature. And make sure I have this up and straight. No, 1 inch mark. A little crooked down here at the bottom. There it is. Okay. Do the same over here. 1/2 inch. Okay. Then I'm going to do the 1/2 inch in between my dead center. Sorry if I'm not talking. I have to concentrate. Alright. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My 7 lines in. Let me see about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I got off a little bit right there, but I'm not worried about it. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna lay out my signatures, and then this is, let's measure how long this is. 11 and looks like 11 and 5/16. I'm just going to guesstimate where the holes go. I'm going to find my center by folding this in half. Butt it up against here so make sure I have the center. Okay, come down and finger press. So that's my very middle. bunch here, 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 and here. Okay. Now want to have an odd number, and you could just keep folding. Like I could fold this up to there. Make sure I get it straight. And I can fold this one. Up to there. Which gives me here. Oops. To be honest, I think I want to fold this again. I'm going to fold this fold up to the other one. Or you can measure it. My fold didn't go too well. Okay, so that's 3 inches, so 1.5 inch. And you can go back and I can see, I'm just trying to show you where it is. That's where I'm going to poke my holes, put my awl through. looking for my ruler here. If you look, it's right at the ruler's width between. That's the measurement I'm gonna go with. I can see it because I've got the lines down. I'll show you. And then just wherever your lines meet, that's where you're going to poke your hole. Okay. So I'm going to finish filling this out, and then I'm going to figure out which side is my top side on here, because I had it laid out a certain way. And then I'll punch my holes. Okay guys, I've got my template made and I've already poked the holes in my spine piece. The holes are visible there, and as long as you match up, okay, see, like I wrote on the back side here, this is the front and the top. So I know the orientation of putting this in there. As long as you line this up, it will line up with your holes. Now you need to know which side you're going to do the top here, to which when I measured it, this is going to be my front and this is my top, this is my back. Okay, so when I put it in, and it has to do with how I got the paper to lay across the whole thing, as why I need to know which is the front, which is the back, and the top and the bottom. And I can tell because this side has more fabric on it that this was the back. That's all. Otherwise, I mean, you can take a white pencil or white pen and write on their front top. Okay, I have one of my signatures, and I have my papers lined up the way I want it to be. And I've got these papers in here so that it's pretty much in the V shape, which would be like how it's sewed in. So it's pretty much how it would lay. I don't want it all stretched out. I mean, you could, I guess. But I'm going to use a book that will help me get the center all the way through. And all I'm going to do is, you look at my papers here. Okay, this is the top. And yes, this is the top. I've gone through and made sure my papers all went one way. And what I'm going to do is put this in here and line it up with the top and the bottom. And you can, you know, make little pen marks if you like. But I've got this, and I'll turn the book around just because it's easier for me. I'm going to pop it up a little bit. Probably going to come on over a few more pages. A few more. It's hard for me doing this while on camera. But I'm going to poke my hose right in the center. Over here, I'm going to line this piece up, and you can, you know, secure your piece of paper. Like I said, you can just take from where this is. I can see where the fold is. I could just make open that up. I can't tell if it's open. I can see where the fold is, and I can just make one little dot right there. Tiny dot. Hard to see on that black paper. But I can see where that is. But with having my paper, this is just my method that I like to use. You do what works best for you to get your holes in and getting them straight. And I'm wanting to kind of center this. I'll stand up and do this since okay. You can see lined up right there, going all the way through. Come to this one, all the way through. The next one, all the way through. My next one. I'm sorry if it's hard for you to see. Move my hand out. You can see where the line goes down and the hole punch tool is stuck right in the middle there. And I'm just doing that all the way down. I'm just lining I'm lining this part up and then pushing through. I'm lining it up with my holes or my line and pushing through. Okay, so take this off, and you'll see I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 holes, and they're pretty much in the crease there. That's the one thing the book does, is help you keep it in the crease. Helps me keep it in the crease. So that's how I use that, and I will do this to all my signatures. And I personally start at the back when I go to sew in my signatures. I can see where the holes are lining up right there. So I'll start here, and then the next one and next one and so forth till my first signature will be the last one that goes in. Okay, I'll be back when I get ready to stitch. Okay guys, I've sewed my signature one time, but guess what? I forgot to connect it to my piece here. So I'm going to try sewing it again. Alright, here we go. Okay guys, I was reviewing the footage that I shot of me sewing in the signatures to my husband's journal, and it wasn't captured on video. I'd pulled the work too close to me, so I was out of frame. So I'm going to give you a mock-up here of what I've done. And this is the exact same template that I used, and I'm going to use this scrap piece here, chipboard, to act as my chipboard that I used in my book, as well as the sandwich that I had with the chipboard and the wallpaper. And then I have, you know, a piece of paper to act as my signature. Now, in doing this, I would have had the holes cut. Every row, 7 rows of holes cut on my chipboard. Okay, this is just for demonstration purposes. So I've taken 3 lengths of my I've taken 3 lengths of my wax thread. And I don't have my glasses on, I'm trying to get it threaded here. There we go. Okay. Pull that little shorter for me. And when I start at the last signature. It's easier for me. So what I did is I took the signature, went through the middle hole, and then the middle hole on the backer. Now this would be my chipboard and wallpaper sandwich here. So stick my needle through, come all the way through the back. Don't pull it all the way through. I want to leave a tail here on the front so my stitches don't come out. Okay, and I just prefer to go down as my first stitch. So I come back up through. And you can hold the tail with your thumb. Whoops. Come back through the back to the front of my signature. And I'm going to go down to the next hole. Make sure everything is lined up. And then all the way through to the back. Okay, then back up the last hole. Okay, now I'm at the end, so I'm going to work my way back up. So come back up. Okay, and then from the back, I'm going to come in through this hole again. Now don't poke extra holes if you don't get it right away. You don't want to weaken your paper. The hole's already there. Okay, just a little fumbling around by me. Okay, and so now my next stitch is going to be through the center. I'm going to move this thread out of the way, then go through the center. And then from the back, I'm going to come back up. And then I'm going to go down. Sorry, I keep pulling it towards me. Okay. And then the top hole. Come back up. Okay. Pull tight. And then I'm going to come back down to the center. Pull that through. Move that out of the way. And come back up through the next hole. Okay, and I am going to go down through the center. Try not to pierce that other thread. Okay, now on the back side here. Okay, this side is loose, so I'm going to come through. I'm going to go behind. I'm going to go behind this thread. Okay, and pull that piece, and then I'm going to go back up through. I came over on this side, but when I put my needle back in, I'm going over on this side, which is going to create a knot on the back here that we're going to pull through. Okay, now through the center, give it a tug. And you'll feel that come through. Now if you look, we're on different sides of the thread. I have one thread here and one thread that came up on this other side. Okay? So, take it off my needle and tie it up, and I do a double knot. And trim my tails. Okay. And then take my bone folder and I lightly go over my signature, not so rough near the stitching. You don't want to tear your stitching, your paper, but just so it'll lay down easier, like that. And you open it up, and there are your stitches. Okay. And this is what it looks like on the back. Before you tie off, make sure you've tightened your stitches. Okay? And then you just keep doing that for each signature. Like I said, I only did it for one for demonstration purposes, but if I had another signature, you know, my holes would already be punched in here, and then I'd sew in my next signature now. Okay? And just to show you what it did look like, excuse my reach. You know, here's the wallpaper we talked about, and I just have you know, the hidden spine. It's glued directly into the back there, and then each signature is sewn in, and then I went over each one of them with the bone folder, or pressed down as much as I can to make it lay a little easier. So that's where we are in the videos. Okay? Excuse my arm, I had blood work done. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.